So I just wanted to do a little film about how the garden is coping with the weather we're having at the moment. I mean, today it says that it's about 22 degrees centigrade, and we haven't had rain for about 6 weeks or so. So this was over that period, or just before that, was when we got a lot of this stuff in. So it's not really had a chance to get its roots down yet. However, bearing in mind we are implementing food forest system, and that's working with perennials, it's really important to see how it's actually coping with the conditions, which are it's quite early in the year to be even thinking about this, if we're going to get this through the rest of the year as well. And obviously things in the ground have a better chance of surviving than things in pots. So I guess the main important things at the moment are we have the family apple tree here, so we really do need to make sure that survives. It is struggling a little bit. I think it's got a bit of leaf curl, and there's aphids on it, so it could be under stress as a result of the heat. The sunflowers are obviously loving it and doing well. Hollyhocks there, a lot of the flowers are coming out with bees nut on them. So we've got sedum here, just at the back there, which is doing okay. But not many things seem to be particularly wilting at the moment. The blueberries, because they need ericaceous compost, they're in pots. And these two especially are in black pots, so they're going to attract the heat. This one struggling a bit, so we need to make sure that's water. So, and the fruit, as you can see, it's trying to put on fruit, but yeah, we really need to get this watered, so that's not really going to produce much of anything. So part of the design was we put these in pots. They obviously are going to need a lot more care than if they're in the ground. Lupins, broad beans, not a perennial, but it's doing okay. It's in the ground. Artichoke here. So as you can see, a little blue butterfly, brilliant. So as you can see, this area here seems to be doing okay without much watering. We've got to do a bit of a triage on the watering. These are some tree cabbages that put in about a couple of weeks ago. They seem to be doing okay. Well, actually, I think only one of them. No, there's a couple. There's another one at the back, and they're in this basket to protect them from pigeons. So so far they're okay. They're getting a little bit of shade actually from the green manure that's there. Roses at the back. Okay, so I'm just going to go and check over this side. Our pond is obviously drying out a bit, and we have limited water to actually fill it up, so we'll see about that. So now these are the things in pots and bags, compost bags. Squash is thyme, that keeps wilting. Beetroot, black mint. So these obviously are struggling. We have tried to use this as a perennial based system in here as well, but anything that's not in the ground is going to struggle. So we really do have to keep an eye on these planters, because this is the part we can actually eat. We can eat all this because it's not in the ground. Potatoes, rhubarb, mange two, Rodney. You can see things wilting. So this is about 11, half 11, I think at the moment. It's quite almost midday, so it's the hottest part of the day. Potatoes, squash, this is doing amazing, this one. Tomatoes, squash, so yeah, they're a bit wilting a bit. Welsh onion and some dragon's tongue. Willow here seems to be doing okay for now. This is the other side of the food forest. Blackcurrant, getting on with some lovely fruit. So this Amelenchia is really struggling now. I don't really know if that's disease or lack of water, or a lack of water, a disease as a result of fungus disease as a result of a lack of water. So I'm going to have to really keep this especially watered. Again, we're just starting to implement these systems, and this garden needs to be as resilient as it can be. So this is all really good feedback for us. Phacelia is doing its thing, supporting bees but also providing green manure. Alder tree that we put in the other day to use actually as a nitrogen fixer. So although it would be a tree, we're going to keep it shrub-like, and we're going to chop and drop with that. Swamp milkweed seems to be doing okay, but we really do need to keep an eye on that. And there's not much this side really that needs to there's anything sort of major. Calendula, Phacelia, there's a echinacea just at the back there which is coming up. So there's not much this side, but the main demonstration part is here, which seems to be holding its own for now. Obviously, yeah, so the cold frame, I've just taken some things out the cold frame. It's really hot in there. But this little greenhouse, a lot of things seem to be, some things are drying out, but because it's under the shade of the sycamore tree, there's less drying out in here, but the air is quite dry, so we're going to need to make sure this is water. So we are now bringing water from home again. Even though we've increased our water catchment, we have run out of water. We've been without water probably for about a couple of weeks or more. So these are a bit dry. We need to water these today, and in here we can probably get away with watering them now, but we're using this watering can so that we only water a little bit at a time. So we are being really sparing with the water. This tomato just needs to go in the ground or in a bag. Herblitzia is struggling. We need to get those sorted. They're, obviously they're going to die. They need to go in the ground or do something with them. We literally can't keep them in pots anymore. Yeah, so, and this tomato here doing okay, not massively brilliant. So that's how things are holding up at the Harmony Garden in this weather, in this heat, prolonged heat stroke dry weather. It's due to get up to about 29 degrees over the weekend. And really, although we are using the sunflowers to help us draw the heavy metals, especially the lead and zinc from the soil, actually implementing this food forest system now is really beneficial in seeing how well it does in these conditions with a lack of rain, to demonstrate the benefits of implementing a food forest system, a perennial food forest system, and also to demonstrate the benefits of things growing in the ground, supporting each other, I guess, but then, people grow annuals in the ground, so that probably doesn't initially mean anything. But right at the moment, I'm pleased with how this is doing. As you can see, we've not got much in the way of food crops apart from the berries, and as I say, the blueberries in the pots, although we have put in tree cabbage, and we do have some 9-star perennial broccoli and some cavalliniera, which really needs to go in. And we've got rhubarb. So the actual full-on food side of it is yet to be really implemented, but this is a really good example of how well this garden is doing so far. And it's only been a very short period of time that this lot started to get these elements were implemented here. So probably we're looking from about April-ish time, and we were able to start buying a lot of this stuff. So I'm really happy with how it's doing at the moment. And yeah, I'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching. Take care.